Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Department of Public Service Public Statement hearing for New York NYSEG Section 68, Case 23-G-0356. Your line is muted. The hearing will begin at 5 p.m. If you're experiencing technical difficulties, please call 1-800-342-3330. Thank you.
This is Judge Kersey. We're going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to give it one more minute, and then we'll get going. This is Judge Kersey. Before we go on the record, I want to remind those on the line that the hearing today will be transcribed for the record. Our court reporter today is Ms. Hines. If you have an unusual name or an unusual spelling, I ask that you spell your name before you begin your comments. Please speak slowly and clearly so the court reporter is able to accurately capture your comments. Ms. Hines, please feel free to interrupt a speaker if you're having trouble transcribing anyone's comments. Ms. Hines, are you ready to begin the hearing?
Yes, I'm ready, Judge.
Okay, great. We are on the record. I call case 23G0356, Petition of New York State Electric and Gas Corporation for approval pursuant to Section 68 of the Public Service Law to amend the Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity for the towns of Varick and Romulus. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Tara Kersey and I am an administrative law judge with the New York State Department of Public Service, and I have been assigned to preside over this public statement hearing. Joining me this afternoon are individuals from the Department's Office of Consumer Services who will be providing technical and operational assistance. We are here today for a public statement hearing that was noticed on September 18th, 2023. This hearing is intended to allow public comment on a petition filed by New York State Electric and Gas Corporation on July 7th, 2023, seeking an amendment to its Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity pursuant to Section 68 of the Public Service Law. The New York State Public Service Commission consists of 7 members, the chair, Rory Christian, and commissioners Diane Berman, James Alisi, Tracy Edwards, John Howard, David Valesky, and John Maggiore. Before I open up the hearing for public comment, I will provide an overview of the procedural background of this case, and then I will explain the process for commenting today. On July 7th, 2023, New York State Electric and Gas Corporation filed a verified petition pursuant to Public Service Law, Section 68 and Parts 17 and 21 of New York Code's Rules and Regulations, seeking an expedited order granting New York State Electric and Gas Corporation, which I will refer to as NYSEG, an amendment to its Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity to exercise its rights pursuant to existing franchise agreements with the towns of Romulus and Varick, which I will collectively refer to as the municipalities, in Seneca County, New York, to provide natural gas service to Seneca Dairy Systems' new galvanizing facility. NYSEG was granted a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity in June of 2000 in case 00-G-0670 to permit it to exercise the gas franchise granted to it by the municipalities and to construct the gas plant necessary for rendering service in such area. The certificate was amended in October of 2004 to construct gas plants in an additional part of its gas franchise territory in the town of Romulus. Now I will take a moment to explain the process that we are going to follow today. As I explained before, the purpose of this hearing is to provide you with an opportunity to tell the Commission your thoughts on the petition. The statements you make today will become part of the case record. We have a court reporter on the line who will prepare a transcript of the hearing, which will be included in the official record of this proceeding so that your comments can be considered by the members of the Commission. When it is ready, the transcript will be publicly available for view on the Department of Public Service's website. This hearing is not an evidentiary hearing with cross-examination or a question and answer session, but really a forum to hear comments from you. This, however, is not the only opportunity for comment. If you do not wish to speak at today's hearing, but would like your views included in the record, there are a variety of other ways to comment as explained in the public notice for today's event. You can submit comments through the department's website, by regular mail, or by telephone. All comments will be given equal consideration regardless of how they are submitted. Because we are holding this public statement virtually, we have asked people to pre-register to make a public statement at today's hearing. As today's hearing is being held virtually, we have some participants who might be participating electronically and others telephonically. In either case, please make sure that you are using only one audio input and one audio output on your end. Otherwise, we may experience some problems with feedback while you are speaking. For those participating electronically, after I call your name, we will unmute your line and let you know that you are unmuted. Please remember that if you have put your own telephone line or computer on mute, you will also have to unmute your line on your end before you begin to speak. For telephone participants, when I call your name, I will ask that you press *3 on your telephone so that we can recognize you and unmute your line. It may take us a moment to locate and unmute you, so please make sure you wait until you hear a beep indicating that your line has been unmuted before you begin your statement. Just a reminder again, if you've muted your own telephone, you will have to unmute that as well. Please speak slowly and clearly so that the court reporter can accurately capture your statement for the record. When your line is unmuted, please state your name, and if you are speaking on behalf of an organization, identify the name of the organization that you represent. Ms. Hines, if at any time you cannot hear a speaker, please feel free to interrupt and let us know, as we want to make sure we have an accurate record of the statements made here today. We are ready to begin. It is my understanding that no one has registered to speak at today's hearing. Can you confirm, Ms. Calais, that remains the case?
That remains the case.
Okay. Since we have no registered speakers, I will open up the hearing to anyone in attendance who would like to speak but did not pre-register to do so. If you would like to make a statement, please click the raise hand icon in the bottom right corner of your screen, or if you have called in, press *3 on your telephone. Either option will enable us to recognize you and unmute you so you can make your statement. I don't see any raised hands. The time is 5:12 p.m. We will leave the line open until 5:42 p.m. and we'll go off the record now. In the event that someone joins during that time and would like to comment, we'll go back on the record. So at this point, we're off the record and we'll reconvene at 5:42. Ms. Hines, are you ready to go back on the record?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, great. It is 5:42 and we are back on the record. No one else has joined the hearing or indicated a desire to make a statement at this hearing. For the record, I would like to reiterate that the notice of public statement hearing was issued on September 18th, approximately 2.5 weeks ago, and no individuals pre-registered to speak. We opened up the floor to people in attendance today and have received no indication that anyone would like to provide a statement. That's correct. Ms. Calais?
Yes, Judge Kersey.
Great, thank you. So we opened up the floor to people in attendance today and we've received no indication that anyone would like to provide a statement. So I'm going to close the hearing. I want to thank everyone for their interest here today. I want to thank our Consumer Services Office for administering this session and our court reporter. I'd like to remind anyone listening that you may also submit comments by the other means described earlier and in the September 18th Notice of Public Statement hearing. We request that these comments be submitted by October 10th, 2023 to ensure timely consideration by the Commission. This public statement hearing is now concluded and we are off the record.
Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Thank
Have a
you.
good
Have
night.
a great night.
Have a good night.
Thank you so much.